Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. I'm sorry about my voice. I spent so much time chatting with Deb when she was here. My voice is raspy. It is the funniest thing. We chatted the whole time, had a fantastic time together. So please excuse my voice. Hopefully I get it back soon. But for today, day 20, we are 2/3 of the way through this 30-day challenge. For day 20, I want to work on focal points. And one of my I should say one of my potential favorite focal points of the entire garden is my autumn statue right here. I am in the back over by my greenhouse, and where we placed the autumn statue from Haddonstone, you can see it not only from the window, the living room window, you can see it from the back porch, the California room, and pretty much anywhere you go, she's kind of back here, kind of like watching over the back garden, and I absolutely love that. Now, the only thing that I don't love about it is my plantings back here are sad. It doesn't look good. I keep thinking I need to plant some things around her to kind of work on this focal point and make it a little bit more of an impact, I would say, because I do love looking at her so much. So let me show you what I have right now. Okay, so first I am going to back up and show you all a landscape view of what I'm looking at. Deb and I were talking. Deb is a photographer, a lovely photographer, and she was teaching me about kind of looking at the whole area first and showing the whole area first so that you all can get an idea of the entire garden until I kind of zoom in and focus on the plants. So here you go, Deb. Here's the view of the what I'm looking at, and you can see Autumn is kind of just looking at us, looking from back there, looking at us. I just think it is the perfect placement for her. I love it, and I need to put one of those Hoselink solar lights to shine up on her. Actually, I think I'll probably do that today as well. But you can kind of see here's the greenhouse with the beds leading up to it. I have my beautiful olive over here. And then my easy scape plantings that are starting to fill in on either side of the greenhouse. And the Rudbeckia, Treasure Trove Rudbeckia, is just starting to look fantastic. I am really excited about that. Nepeta is starting to bloom, and the pink penstemon is coming along, but it's taking a little bit longer. But if you look back here, it's, oh, poor Autumn. She doesn't have a lot going on around her. There's a Miss Molly butterfly bush that's starting to grow. There's a crepe myrtle back here that I actually think I'm going to take out because it's kind of stunted a little bit back here, and it is getting a little bit of powdery mildew, which normally we don't get a lot of powdery mildew, but this one tends to get a lot of powdery mildew. It's the center stage crepe myrtle, and I told you guys that I'm not super happy with this plant, so I think I'm going to take that out. What should I do with it? You know what? I think I'll probably give that to Raphael because he really likes these. He's really a huge fan of these. So I think I'm going to give that to my friend Raphael at Park Winners. He has other center stage crepe myrtles planted in his garden, and they do a little bit better in his garden. Then I have 3 limelight hydrangeas that are so stunted back here. I have no idea why. They obviously are just unhappy in this place. They're barely growing, and they have the tiniest blooms, and I've planted other limelight hydrangeas after I planted these, and they're 5 times the size of these. So it's obviously just not the right place. This is a really tough place. We're right underneath the olive tree back here, and I just have to find the right plantings for around here. I have my very sad podocarpus hedge that's not looking great. I need to kind of fix that a little bit, but I have a couple things that I think I want to plant around Autumn to kind of wrap her in some plantings, so it's not so much black fence. I want more greenery back here, and the canopy of the olive tree is so high, it's higher than her, so I'm not even seeing, like if I bend down like this, right, that's beautiful with the canopy, with the olive tree behind her, but all of my focal points, all of my viewpoints don't have that behind her, so I need to plant some other things. So anyway, that's my plan for today, is to kind of work on this area. But first, of of course, as always, I'm going to get started with my daily routine. All right, so I watered my plant stash, then headed up to the dry creek bed to weed for another 5 minutes. It's been 15 minutes total so far that I've weeded in this particular area, and it's already getting significantly better. Little and often makes a huge difference. While I was working today, Jason was out in the garden helping me fertilize, so that got checked off my daily routine thanks to him. Then I headed to the back garden and deadheaded these iceberg standards. I just quickly trimmed the old blooms off and this time even shaped them up a little bit. These roses have been blooming really well this year, and I think that is due to, one, I'm deadheading them way more often than I ever do, and two, I put the Van Winden's rose fertilizer mix on them 3 times so far this year, and I think they just love it. What is it? Is it a lizard? Please be a lizard, not a snake. What is it? What is it? What is it? There's nothing there. Baby lizard. Let the poor thing go. Out, 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 out. Leave the baby lizard alone. Out. Go, go, go. Silly dog. All right, you guys, so here's what I'm going to, I think, start with. This is a starting off point for my planting for the focal point around autumn. One of the plants I'm super excited about is this woolly bush right here. This bush I actually, or is it a bush or a tree? I think you call it a bush. This was a gift from Deb, my friend Deb, and she has a couple of these. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Come here. Come stand over here. Come stand over here. She has a couple of these in her garden and she loves them, and they're soft and they catch the light. Oh my goodness. Do you need attention? This boy needs attention. Yes, you do. Okay, let's see if I can work around Monty. He just needs to be pet right now. So this is a woolly bush, and it was gifted from Deb, my friend Deb, who just came. It's so soft and so beautiful. And actually, when we went to Curious Flora Nursery, they were selling these as well. This is a completely new to me plant. I've never heard of it before, but I'm really, really excited about it. Let me show you guys the scientific name. Adenothos syrisus. It's native to South Australia, southern Australia, and it gets about 6 to 10 feet 6 to 10 feet tall and 2 to 4 feet wide. So I just think it'll be really pretty. It'll bring some brightness into this area behind the autumn statue, this kind of dark area. It is full sun, so I am kind of stretching it a little bit. I think it's still technically 6 hours of sun over here, but it's kind of close. It's kind of close. So we'll see how it does, but basically I'm going to take out this limelight hydrangea and replace it right in that hole with this one. Now this guy likes really, really good drainage, and I don't have the best drainage back here, so I'm actually going to only plant it about this deep, right? And then I'm going to berm it up, mound it up so that it has a little bit better drainage, which is a trick that you can do if you have really clay soil or really dense soil. You just plant it a little bit higher and then put some extra compost or some planting mix or something like that around it, and that will make sure that the plant's not sitting in too much drainage. Then the next one over here, this guy is from Proven Winners, and it's called, this is a brand new to me plant. I've never heard of it before. It's called a candy box Chilean guava, or an ugni, which I thought is a really silly name, but it's supposed to be like a boxwood alternative. It gets 2 to 3 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide. It has these cute little, I don't know if you call them I guess they're berries or something like that. They're just so cute, and it kind of reminds me of like a miniature strawberry tree, right? If you can see the bark on that like that. But it's going to be kind of small boxwood style, zones 7 to 9. I'm really interested. I just want to try this plant out, but I'm assuming if it gets maybe about 3 feet tall and wide, it's just going to tuck in right behind her and give her some contrast. The lightness of the statue with the little darkness of the leaves right here, I think will give it a little bit of contrast, which will, I think, be really pretty. And then I have my summer break. Which one is this? Summer breeze alstroemeria. Now, take these plants with a grain of salt because they have been sitting in my plant stash since March, I think. It's been way too long. I've been torturing them so much, and they've kind of been sitting in the shade in my plant stash. So I think they need a little bit more sun. But if you look at the picture, they actually have darker foliage. These are supposed to have darker foliage than the summer break alstroemeria. So I think once they get new growth on them and everything, they're going to have some darker foliage here that's going to contrast against the woolly bush. It's going to contrast against the podocarpus, contrast against her and the black fence. And I think it'll look really pretty. Plus, this is kind of an autumn color story, which I think is perfect with the autumn statue. Then my plan is to add maybe a little something back here, and I want it to be dark foliage, which I don't have yet, right? Something like right here, like I'll probably move that podocarpus and put some dark foliage, something right behind her like that, but I don't have it in my plant stash. So the only dark foliage thing I have left in my plant stash is this coleus right here. This is Wicked Witch coleus, and that's kind of going to be a reminder for me that I want to get something that's tall, maybe 8 feet tall or something, that I can put right behind her that has nice dark foliage. And I'm not sure yet what it's going to be, but that far back is going to need to be, part sun to part shade, I would say. So I'm just going to have to research and find a really good plant for that. But that's my reminder, and I'm just going to plant it there because I think it'll look pretty with this whole thing. And then I'm thinking about the crepe myrtle, and I think I'm just gonna leave that crepe myrtle for now. Might as well just leave it for now, not pull it out, especially because it's hot. I'll probably transplant it and give it to Raphael later, but that one will be coming out. Will it? Okay, so I haven't totally decided if I'm going to take that one out yet, so I will wait on that. But for now, I'm going to just plant these in and try and get a little better focal point, a little better grouping around autumn. Oh, and I forgot to say, I don't have gophers over here. I don't think I have gophers over here. I have ground squirrels over here. So I am going to be using gopher cages just to protect mostly the big plants, just to make sure that those ground squirrels don't get into that area. Hopefully that will work, but with rodents, you never really know. And they've definitely gotten a lot better. I feel like I'm pushing them out to the other fields that are on either side of the fence. So I think that they are improving and definitely getting better, but I have seen already another tunnel. Let me show you right here. So you can see they're coming from the other side of the fence. They're coming in here and they're making their little house under here. So very annoying, very frustrating, but I think gopher cages will definitely help it. And you guys, talk about focal point. I mean, this is just, it's starting to look really good. Not starting, it is looking really good. Sometimes I just look up and it's like, wow, that's my garden. That is looking so beautiful. I am just really enjoying my garden this year. All right, I am all done. Do I like it? I'm not sure yet. I think I have to wait for everything to kind of grow in a little bit. Everything's looking a little raggedy right now, except for the woolly bush, because that was a new one. And then the Chilean guava looks really good too. But everything else looks a little raggedy just being in my plant stash for so long. So I think I just need to give it some time. I also think I need to mulch back here. I think it desperately needs some mulch. So here's a closer look. Now again, the woolly bush back there, that's gonna get 2 to 4 feet wide. So at the widest point, it's just gonna, I mean, it's not even going to touch her, basically. Hey guys, I am editing my video right now, and I double checked the size of that woolly bush, and it says it's actually 4 to 8 feet wide. So I think I need to move it back a little bit. I don't know where I read it was 2 to 3 feet wide, but it's 4 to 8 feet wide. So I think I need to move it back. I'll do that another day. So it's going to come up over here, and then the Chilean guava is going to be 2 to 3 feet wide, kind of like a sphere. And then all of the alstroemeria will kind of pop up around here. They get, I think, max 3 feet tall. So I think it should be very pretty if it all fills in as I can imagine it. The question is will it all fill in as I can imagine it? This is definitely one of my hardest spots in my garden to plant. Things just randomly don't survive. They randomly don't make it. I have no idea why. The hydrangeas didn't do well over here. It's just a really, really interesting spot. So I think I'm just going to kind of test it, see how this goes, and then not get frustrated if I need to maybe move some plants or change some plants around or add some plants. It is a work in progress, but at least I am focusing on my focal points and trying to work on them because she deserves it, right? She's so beautiful. When I was talking to Deb, we were talking about how beautiful these sculptures are. If you guys see them in person, like, I hope they come across on camera as beautiful as they are in person, because I absolutely love them. Anyway, so that is my focus garden task for today, and I thought maybe I could do some Q&As. So let's head over to my office. And side note, tomorrow, my plan, I'm gonna clean this area up. I'm gonna clean my messy potting area up because it's just gotten too messy. So that's tomorrow. All right, in my cool air-conditioned office, it feels much better in here. So some questions from my comments section. Thank you all for leaving comments. First one's from Laura. Do you have drain holes in the stock tanks? And that was in regards to yesterday's video where I planted the bougainvillea in the stock tanks, and it looks so good. It looks beautiful. And Laura, yes, I have drain holes in my stock tanks. As soon as I get stock tanks, I flip them over. I wet it down, and I use a metal drill bit, the biggest drill bit I have, and I drill 6 holes or something like that in the bottom of my stock tanks, and it works really well. I don't put rocks in the bottom for drainage. I don't put landscape fabric in the bottom, which I don't think it would be bad because it would probably keep a lot of this more soil in and from getting a mess. But that's all I do, and it works really well for me. And I love planting in stock tanks. I think they're so pretty. The only drawback to them is they do get hot because they're metal. So if you wanted to plant something that likes cool roots like clematis, you're not going to want to plant that in a stock tank because the roots are going to get way, way too hot. So that's the only thing you have to think about if you're planting in stock tanks. Gail asked, wondering where you get the Sol Po mag for the rose mix. And Gail's talking about the Van Winden's Magic Rose Mix that I always talk about. I was taught that by Van Winden's Garden Center out of Napa, one of the most lovely, amazing garden centers ever. And they taught me this rose fertilizer, and it is gold. It is absolutely amazing. It is a half a cup per rose. It's a half a cup of organic rose fertilizer, 1 cup of alfalfa meal, and 2 tablespoons of something called Sol Po mag. And if you can't find Sol Po mag, look for something that's labeled as langbeinite. I'll put it right here, langbeinite. That's the same thing, and it's a naturally occurring crystalline material that provides a steady, gradual supply of 3 vital plant nutrients: potassium, magnesium, and sulfur. And I think it works really, really well. Jean asked, hi Janie, I'm so enjoying your 30-day series. Thanks, Jean. The irrigation kit, how do I attach it to the faucet? Silly question. I know I'm getting to where I get tired watering my flower beds by hand. Used to have one, sold my house, and I bought it back from the people that lived when their dogs chewed up all the lines. Oh my gosh, Jean. Anyway, so the way that you attach, you actually have to go get like a faucet kit, basically. So when I recommended the irrigation starter kit, that probably won't have a faucet adapter. And so if you go to like Home Depot or something like that, you go over to the irrigation place and look for the box that says a faucet adapter. Or you can find a kit. They usually sell kits with timers, which is probably what you want to set a timer. And the timer kits usually have a faucet adapter. So basically it will have an adapter to put onto your faucet, and then it will couple down to either 1/2-inch tubing or 1/4-inch tubing, where you can automatically connect the tubing to your faucet. And so you just have to decide which one you want. So it's a kit, it's a piece that you need to find. And I would say go for the kit rather than getting the separate pieces, because you also want to get like a backflow preventer. I'm going to link my irrigation playlist in the description down below, because all those videos I go into super detail about it, on exactly everything that you need. But once you get the parts, once you get the pieces, it's actually really, really easy to do. And I would say, Jean, do it, because you don't want to hand water your plants. You don't want to do that. Okay, so the last question I was going to answer was from Lucy, and Lucy says, question, Janie, I've admired your young crepe myrtle trees in your dry creek bed. My question is this: have you heard of the bathtub effect? I have 2 beautiful crepe myrtle trees that have beautiful dark red blooms in late June. The problem is when my trees bloom, they're loaded with huge blooms. I have never trimmed my crepe myrtles. The trees are 10 years old and only half the size as yours. The branches are so thin that when it rains, the flower heads snap off and wreck my trees. When I planted these trees, the ground was so rocky and compacted that the holes had to be dug with a pickaxe. I asked AI why my trees were not growing. It is not due to fertilization producing rapid thin growth. AI said this was the classic case of the bathtub effect. Have you ever heard of this or had any experience with this before? Any information would be greatly appreciated. So the first thing I would say, not knowing all the information, is it could be the bathtub effect. The bathtub effect is basically where the ground is so compacted and so hard that the hole actually holds water in the bottom of the hole where your hole's planted, and it causes the roots to get soggy, and then the roots can't expand out and get more nutrients or anything like that. But that's usually a problem in the first couple years of the plant. By 10 years, the roots should be expanded out, right? They should have gotten through that bathtub effect after 10 years. So the thing that I'm thinking of that I'd like you, well, first of all, how much sun does your crepe myrtle get, right? If it gets full all day sun, then obviously that's not the problem. If it gets too much shade, then you're going to have that spindly growth that isn't going to do really well on holding up your branches. The other thing is where are you? Where's your crepe myrtles? Think of where you are. Do crepe myrtles normally grow in your area? Are they good for your area? All that kind of stuff. The other thing that I would say is, do you know what type of crepe myrtles you have? Because that is a big factor. There are dwarf crepe myrtles, like I have a pink velour dwarf crepe myrtle, and it gets only about 8 feet tall, maybe 10 feet tall if I'm lucky, and it has very thin branches. It's almost more like a shrub rather than a tree. And so if you accidentally got a dwarf crepe myrtle, sometimes even plants are mislabeled, right? So kind of look at it, and if it's only 8 feet tall, and that's pretty much how it's gotten after 10 years, you might have gotten the wrong varieties of plants. So pink velour is a variety of dark red crepe myrtle. My crepe myrtles are Tuscarora crepe myrtles, and they are meant to grow 30, 40 feet tall. I don't know, somewhere around. They're meant to grow big. They're a big tree, and they grow pretty quickly. quickly. As you can see, mine have grown pretty quickly. So that's my thought. After 10 years, if you're having this much trouble, I would almost assume that you got the wrong variety of crepe myrtles. And if I were you, I'd just pull them out and replace them, which I know is like, you're having to spend money, but 10 years is a long time to wait and to deal with a plant that you don't love. So I would say pull it out and replace it with a taller crepe myrtle as long as you have enough sun. And then if you do have really rocky and horrible soil, I would say when you're digging the new trees, maybe hire someone to come in and help you, or, really spend the time in digging out a nice big hole, a really, really big hole. Take the native soil, mix it with something called soil conditioner, and that's going to allow the roots of that tree to expand past its root ball where it is now and prevent any bathtub effect. So good luck. I'm sorry you're dealing with that, but I would take a good look at the variety of your crepe myrtles. All right, that is going to be it for today. Thank you so much for submitting your questions and your wonderful comments. You guys are so sweet. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.